Hi, welcome back to another video. I am so excited because today is our second edition of my Cool Tone Lip Swatch Guide series. You all loved the first one and I am so happy that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. So I wanted to bring you the next edition, which is going to be all of my favorite cool tone lip glosses. They're not going to pull orange or peachy or too warm on you. If you have neutral, cool, olive skin, you're gonna love these. Pale skin as well. So I just really wanted to share with you all of my favorites because I hate that feeling of going makeup shopping and something looks good in the tube and you buy it and then you bring it home and it just looks horrible on you. So that was really like my main inspiration for these videos, is to help prevent that from happening to you so you don't have to waste any money, because I don't want you to. If you do appreciate these videos, make sure to give them a like so I know to keep making more of them. Make sure you are subscribed. You could also leave me a super thanks, which is a comment where you're able to support my content directly. I will respond to your comment as soon as possible, and you also get a shout out in my next video. It's that little heart icon at the bottom of the screen. But let's get started. First, I got this necklace like a year ago and I don't know if I like it. I wanted it to give mermaid vibes, but I don't know if that's what it's giving. Maybe I'm like styling it wrong. Let me know if you like it or not. I feel like it matched my pearl headband, but I don't know. I was like, let's try it out. First off, I want to start with the more balmy glosses. These are still advertised as lip glosses, have a similar amount of shine, but they're a bit more balmy and emollient feeling. Starting off with the RMS Beauty Liplights, I have two shades here that I think are really beautiful cool tones. Start with the lighter shade here, which is called Rumor. First off, I hate this packaging. It kind of just leaks everywhere. Love the formula. I just wish they could find some better packaging for it. So this is the shade Rumor, which is a really gorgeous mauve-y purple. When you see this shade, isn't that gorgeous? It's so muted and like plummy, but still has a little bit of pink in there. It's just honestly one of the most beautiful shades. You apply these with your fingers because they are just squeezy tubes. Like, even if they just put this in a tube that had an applicator, I know they're trying to not do the plastic thing. That's great, but I don't know. So here's the sort of sheer wash of color. Isn't that just like the perfect My Lips but better shade? You could also just continue to build these up for a little bit more pigment. This is the lip liner. I think it's a gorgeous shade and formula. Do want to warn you about the packaging though, it could just be so messy. But this is the Rumor shade of the Liplights from RMS. This video should at least be a little bit easier on my lips because they're all more moisturizing products, so I'm not just like scraping off lipstick. But anyway, the next shade is called Rhapsody, which is this red burgundy, also really gorgeous muted shade. So here's Rhapsody. This is like the perfect brick red. Like, it looks like it may pull warm. I feel like on the lips, it doesn't really. Another just beautiful shade. If you have olive skin, you may relate to brick reds looking really great on you, like more muted reds, nothing that's too bright. I feel like this is just such a wearable, like, I feel like it has a hint of warmth to it. Like, it's verging on being like, ooh, a little bronzy, but it definitely doesn't pull too warm or orange. So that one is Rhapsody from RMS. Next is one that's quite new to me, which are these Flower Beauty Gloss Crush Lip Serums. This is the shade Honey Crush. I do have another shade of this, but I feel like it's more of a warm shade. So this is a really cushiony, shiny liquid lip balm. Really like the applicator. They do have quite a fruity scent. Pretty sheer, but overall I wanted to mention because I think it's a nice pretty pink. Another one that's almost like neutral, kind of hinting at a little bit of warmth, but not too warm, and definitely still on the neutral cool side, so I think it's super pretty. Next we have these MAC. These are called the Squirt Plumping Gloss Sticks, and this is the shade Simulation, which is, oh sorry I didn't swatch this one. It's really sheer though, so you probably won't be able to see it anyway. These are like a twist up balm stick, so once you twist them up, you can't like twist it back down. So you just have to be a little bit careful with it. But this is a very, very pretty muted, like sheer beigey grayish shade almost. Like, I never know how to describe these, but they're some of my favorite shades. Application on this, not my favorite because I feel like it applies a little unevenly. I feel like that's just in general for these kinds of formulas. Not my favorite. So I end up usually just using my finger. Shade wise, I think this is a beautiful mauvey brown is a good way to describe it. I think it just goes with so many different looks and is a beautiful neutral cool tone. So that was Simulation by MAC. Flavor wise, by the way, these do have like a sort of a minty vibe to them, nothing too strong. Next are the Bareminerals Balmy Glosses. I have two shades, starting with the lighter one. This one is called Serenity. Usually with these milky pinks, I find that they pull very warm, but I find that this shade looks really pretty. So there's a swatch on my hand, like it even looks warm on my hand, but I think because it has so much sheerness to it, isn't that really pretty? This with a more like muted lip liner like Colourpop Cool BFF or my NYX Nude Beige, I think makes a really nice light lip combo. And it's just one of those pink shades that baby pinks can pull very peach. I feel like this one is a really great neutral cool take on it. And then this other shade I have is a red called Wonder. These do have quite a fruity like taste and smell to them, by the way. Quite strong, so if you're not loving a lot of fragrance, maybe avoid these ones. But I think this red is gorgeous. It's a berry red, very true, cool undertone. Formulas are beautiful. I like how this is a sheer take on red because it's just so wearable. And these are a thin, balmy consistency that really stay on your lips. I do love these formulas. And you could, of course, continue to build it up. Yeah, this is just one of those shades if I want to wear like a little bit of pop of color. Like on me, this is a pop of color. I'm so pale, but it's just like that pretty hint, like almost giving like Renaissance vibes. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying like Bridgerton era, like a lot of pink blush and just like a flushed lip. Really pretty one. Again, this is Wonder from Bareminerals. Then we have another balmy gloss. This is from e.l.f. This is the Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil. This is the shade Only You. I have tried, I think, all of the shades in these, and all the other ones pull very warm. Like it's a very warm pink collection. This is the only shade I find that is not warm. It's actually still quite like a neutral color. Definitely not super duper cool toned, but it actually does have like this neutral cool vibe going on to it. These are very light, very thin, not quite as thick as some of these other options. And I think this pink is nice. Actually, you know, sometimes this happens with these videos where I pull out a product I haven't used in a while and I'm like, oh, I do like this one. And then I put it on and I realized I was wrong. So I'm gonna remove that from this video because I just feel like on my skin, it is pulling a little warm. If you're just slightly warmer than me or darker than me, you might like this one, but I'm gonna say for similar to me, definitely not the best option here. Next, we have the infamous Fitglow Beauty. These are called their lip color serum. The first time I ever tried this was the buff shade, which is a really pretty muted rose. This one is a very true cool toned, which is basically this bright purple. These are definitely pigmented. Like, bam, you're getting a lot of color and pigment payoff in these. They are pricey, but they are beautiful. So my favorite way to wear this is sheared out because it's so bright, like just that much. Blend it out. Very true balmy consistency. And just sheared out like that with sort of like a neutral lip liner. I think this one is really pretty. If you wanted a more bright option, you could definitely build it up. Definitely a more pigmented, layerable formula. If you wanted something a bit bright, I think this is a really pretty option. Dahlia from Fitglow. Next is a bit more of a sheer balm. This is from Caliray. I actually love these formulas. This is the shade Free Palomas. My favorite is actually, I forget the name of it. It has a little bit more purple in it. I used that one up so quickly though. This is more of like a neutral pink. Really sheer, so I'm probably not going to swatch it on my hand. You can just tell it adds a little bit of a pink tint to my lips without being too strong. Now we're working our way into some more just classic gloss formulas. I've loved the Pixi Liplift Maxes for years and years now, especially this shade. This is the shade Sheer Rose. These are more of like a slightly stickier formula. They're minty. They have this flat double-sided applicator. And look at that shade. It is really gorgeous, muted pinky rose. These give your lips a lot of shine. Perfect amount of pigment too. See, isn't that beautiful? It's just one of those that's like perfect on its own, or you can layer it. Really the perfect amount of color to just wear with a lip liner. Really versatile. You can find these at Target. They're very minty and plush. Actually, I take back what I said about them being sticky. They're very moisturizing and actually not sticky. I think if you apply too much, they can be a little bit sticky, but love this one. Sheer Rose. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Moving along, we have the Colourpop So Glassy Lip Gloss. Don't know the shade of this. Okay, it's called Poppy. This shade is one of my favorites. It's this really, why did I swatch it right there? It's a really gorgeous, like pinky purple muted shade. Another one that goes great on its own or with a lip liner. I actually love the consistency of these. They're a little bit thicker, but very, very like emollient and occlusive. Like it just feels like one that really encompasses your lips and gives you really great amount of moisture, if you know what I'm saying. This one, just gorgeous lip gloss shade from Colourpop. Affordable, pretty, great with their cool BFF lip liner. Next, another great drugstore option. These are the e.l.f. lip glosses. Now, this one is from the Jennifer Coolidge collab. I don't know if you can still get this, but I do have another shade. These are called their lip plumping glosses. So the first one from the collab, this one is Swollen, and this is just the prettiest light baby pink with a little bit of shimmer in it. Very, very sheer, so not gonna show up, but you can see the shine that it gives you because it does give you a lot of shine. I love this one. Baby pinks are one of those that can pull very warm. I love using this on top of lipsticks or just with a lip liner. It just has that perfect amount of like pearlescence to it. I really hope you can still get this one. It also has a really pretty cool tone shimmer in it. The other shade I have from them, which I picked up after initially trying that one, is the Sparkling Rosé, which is more of this pinkish purple shade. I actually was curious to see if it would be a dupe for the Victoria Beckham gloss, which I will swatch right after this one. This is the same formula, standard doe foot. Keep forgetting to swatch them. There it is right in the crease of my hand, I guess. This one has more of a true cool rose undertone if you want something very cool toned. This one has some warm pigment and doesn't have shimmer in it, so it's a little bit nicer to wear on its own because it gives you more color than the sheer version. Super pretty still. So next I have the Victoria Beckham. Next I have the Victoria Beckham Posh Gloss in the shade Fizz, which is swatched right here, and then this was the e.l.f. one. So they're definitely not dupes. The Victoria Beckham one just has a lot more of a deep rosy tone. These are really beautiful, flat, double-sided, definitely thinner than the e.l.f. ones. Really shiny and pretty. These are great if you're really sensitive to fragrance as well because they don't really like have too much of a scent to them. How pretty is this though? Very gorgeous, like muted, rosy, slightly brighter shade on me almost. Like this would just be gorgeous with really simple eye makeup, a lot of glow in the summer. Love to keep these in my bag. They do start to separate a little bit, but you can just easily mix them back up. Next is one you may not typically think of like a cool toned lipstick. Lip gloss. I just wanted to mention this one because in terms of red, this is a really pretty wearable red. From Lawless, it's the Forget the Filler Cherry Vanilla collection. If you don't like cherry or like scented lip products, avoid this one. This is also like quite a goopy formula, so it's a little bit stickier and heavier on the lips. I don't find that it's like too heavy though. There's a shade Cherry Vanilla. Like it has this red tone, but it's definitely a cooler, very wearable red. Also, the doe foot has this little like step in it to fit your lips, which is great. It almost shows up like a magenta shade. Like, isn't that a gorgeous red gloss? I usually wouldn't go for something like this, but I was really surprised at how pretty and wearable this looks. And you kind of see it's getting a little bit stringy. You have to be careful with the amount you apply, but I do really like this color and collection from Lawless. I have a lot of other seemingly cool shades of this formula I'm interested in trying. A little ASMR there. Next up, NYX. This is Milky Glosses. I think they have repackaged these since I bought them. I hope they still have these shades or similar ones. I have Cherry Skimmed in Cookies and Milk. Start with Cookies and Milk, which is this very like unique taupey brown shade. This was the first one I ever tried. Now's the time I start swatching on my knuckles. Like, isn't that such a pretty like muted brown shade? Usually with these taupes they can lean very warm, but I feel like this is the perfect taupey brown. It's also quite light. Ooh, it's just so unique. If you like that really like muted, almost like, I don't want to say like dead vibes, but like kind of just like colorless little goth makeup, like this is really pretty and muted. It's also great at like muting other lipstick shades. So I think this is a super unique and very pretty one from NYX. I really hope they still have the shade. And then we have the brighter sister, which is called Cherry Skinned. This is more of a pinky mauvey purple, still nice and cool toned. And these applicators are really nice. They pick up the perfect amount of product. There's Cherry Skimmed, which is kind of reminding me of like the Victoria Beckham and e.l.f. one. That's like literally my lip to a better shade. Ooh, another, that sounded weird. Another beautiful shade. I forgot how much I love these. This is like probably my perfect lip shade in my opinion. It's giving me like MAC Viva Glam 2 lipstick vibes, where it's this sheer rose, but it has a lot of like gray and just muted qualities about it that makes it super wearable and it will not pull warm. My stomach's probably like, why are you consuming so much lip gloss? On to the next one, which is a Tower 28 lip jelly. This is the shade Fearless. These look very bright, but they're a very sheer formula. Again, really nice applicator on these babies. There it is on my knuckle, just very sheer berry color, which is perfect. If you're like looking at these kinds of products that are sheer, I would just always go for like the purple shade because they tend to be just true cool tones. This is just a gorgeous sheer wash of purple, very wearable, something you could wear on its own or layer up. Just that perfect amount of color. Really good one just to like carry with you. Very, very emollient, not sticky. These are more of like a balmy gloss versus a true gloss. I'm saving some of my favorites for last, so stay tuned. But next up we have these Jones Road lip glosses. I think they still sell these. These are the cool glosses. I have Mocha Shimmer and we have Idol, but it's spelled, is that how you spell Idol? I don't think so. Anyway, this is like a magenta rose. I don't know why I just didn't start swatching on my other hand. These are actually like pretty pigmented. This is a magenta hot pink. These are very thin and minty. Not my favorite because I feel like they just wear off too easily, but this just as a wash of pink I think is really pretty. Definitely cool toned. I would probably pair this with like a more taupey lip liner. They are quite pigmented, not my favorite because they do tend to wear off a little bit, but I think the shades are gorgeous. And then we also have Mocha Shimmer, which is a shimmer shade. The pink doesn't have any shimmer in it. This is another one of those browns that it's like, you know, it could have the ability to pull a little bit warm, but on the lips I think this one has enough like pinky mauve in it that it works. I really like the shimmer in here too. I think because these are more, actually this shade is quite sheer, the other one was a little bit more pigmented. Because of the nature of the formula, like this probably would pull very warm on me if it was more pigmented, but because that like color of my lip is showing through, I think it mixes to make its own like really pretty color. So that was Mocha Shimmer from Jones Road. Next is also another product I tried recently in my full face of Moira Beauty. This is the Glow Getter Hydrating Lip Oil. I was like blown away by the pigment in this because it's a lip oil. The shade Only Smooches, which I picked up because it just looked like the prettiest pink purple, and it is so gorgeous. Look at that pigment, very true like mauvey purple. I feel like out of everything we swatched, like that is just the perfect purple. And these are definitely one you could just wear on its own because they're so pigmented. Even though they're called a lip oil, I find them quite thick and emollient on the lips. They're a little bit more like balmy feeling. It's almost like a balmy lip gloss versus a lip oil. I don't feel like the name really encapsulates how it feels on the lips. I thought it was important to mention, but this shade, gorgeous, really pretty purple. If I just want like classic purple lip, I'm going for this. Next, these are basically brand new to me, but I have been loving them. They are from In Beauty Project. I tried a bunch of these shades, but these are my favorites that I want to mention. First is probably like the most pigmented. The other ones are a little bit more sheer. This is the lip oil in Fruity Cereal, which if you've never tried these, they taste amazing. Like they have stevia in them, so they actually taste quite sweet. Not overwhelmingly though. Like I feel like the scents, In Beauty does such a great job with the scents. They're not overpowering. As someone who doesn't like love fragrance, I feel like these are delicious, but they're not too much, you know? So that's Fruity Cereal, which is quite sheer, and I think it just has that perfect pink undertone. Again, baby pinks can be a little bit difficult, but this one is for sure more of a cool pink. I've been loving this just for every day or with a lip liner. These definitely have like a balmy, like medium consistency. I don't feel like it's too thick or too thin. So Fruity Cereal, gorgeous, and they taste so good. Kind of makes you want to eat them. And then these two are probably my absolute favorites, which have some shimmer in them. Let's start with this one. This is Vanilla Mint. I love more minty flavors. And this has like a very interesting like peachy green, almost like reflect to it. So here's Vanilla Mint, like it is sheer. Really hard to see the reflect, but hopefully on my lips. It just has a really pretty, like for a clear gloss. I know it's like a cool tone lip swatch video, but sometimes the clear glosses can have like a warm shimmer in them, but this is like a cool minty type of vibe, and I just really like it. And then this one is called Frosé, which is more of a frosty pink. Again, probably gonna be a bit hard to see on my hand, but you can tell versus the Vanilla Mint, you're getting a little bit more of that baby pink color. I don't know what is a frosé? Is that frozen rosé? I think so. I don't drink, so like, I don't know. It tastes like strawberry, I guess. This one I think is my favorite out of all of them. It's just such a pretty, like very like kiss of pink, but looks very natural if you like more of a natural lip vibe. Okay, that was gonna be my last one, but I think I should also swatch their candy apple one because this is another one of those reds that I feel like is very pretty and wearable. This is the candy apple shade, which I don't know if that's my favorite flavor or scent. I do really like the red tint that it has. If you don't like apple though, you're not gonna like it. It actually tastes like giving like Jolly Rancher vibes. Ooh, like green apple. That was my favorite flavor. Maybe if they made a green apple version of this, I don't know if they would make it green though, or... I'm just gonna throw on some of the NYX Nude Beige Lip Liner. And then for our gloss, let's put on the NYX Milk and Cookies again. I just love this like muted brown shade. I wish I had more like this. But that wraps up our cool tone lip swatch guide. I really hope you found this enjoyable and helpful. Again, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss my next version of this video. I'm open to hearing any of your ideas for any sort of cool tone recommendations. I'm also gonna put on the screen here my playlist for all my other cool tone videos so we can keep hanging out. I will see you over there. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.